What is the metaverse explained? That is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. And if you're not familiar with the metaverse, if you're a beginner into crypto and you're just like, what is this stuff and how is this going to work? I'm going to explain, right? So the first thing that you need to know is this, right? So if you've ever played any video game where you have a character within like the game itself, and you can actually do things like, for example, Grand Theft Auto. Most people have played Grand Theft Auto before. So imagine having that character in Grand Theft Auto and you being able to purchase land and purchase clothes for that character inside of Grand Theft Auto. But how it's basically going to work is like that clothes would be an NFT. So if I wanted to change the Grand Theft Auto, what outfit he was wearing, I would go to the store and I'd be able to buy different merchandise, whether it's like from a name brand, whether it's from like a big brand store or whatever it is. But people are going to be able to take that character that they're normally playing with on a remote, and instead of it just being on a remote, they're going to put on either a VR headset, augmented, like an AR, like glasses. There's going to be virtual reality and then augmented reality. So again, going back to that Grand Theft Auto example, so you have a person. So you have a person basically that is looking for an experience, the same way you're looking for experience in that game. That experience is going to help you basically just get your message across, and not necessarily get your message across, but just being in Grand Theft Auto. But instead of being in the game, you're actually there as yourself, and you can buy land, you can buy property, you're going to be able to buy things, and instead of it just being in that game, it's going to be a mixture of real life, virtual reality, and augmented reality. And that's the metaverse in a nutshell. But what it's really going to do is it's going to impact every single industry, not just gaming. It's going to impact how we meet with people, how we experience things, and how we mix 2D with kind of like virtual reality and then 3D, I would say. And what I mean by that is like if me and you want to be in the same room, but we're not able to actually fly to the same location. Let's say you're in London and I'm in California, for example, and we have a meeting. Normally we will have a Zoom meeting. The Zoom meeting, you can only see what is on me in that camera, and then I can only see what you have on the camera. But with the metaverse and with augmented reality and virtual reality, we'll be able to actually be in the same room with each other during that meeting. So I will put on glasses, and then we will start the meeting, and my whole body will be there with you versus you only seeing the top about it, the topper section of my screen. You'll be able to see my facial expressions. You'll be able to hear me laugh. You'll be able to hear me and see me. And you'll actually not physically be able to touch me, but we'll actually be in the same room together. So that is the metaverse in a nutshell. And like imagine being able to interview people. Instead of it being on Zoom, you can do it in the metaverse. Imagine being able to meet with friends in a club instead of you all having been this. Imagine you being in Miami, your friend in California, and another friend in Massachusetts or something like that. You all can meet for like an event, and you can all meet in the metaverse via augmented reality or virtual reality. So it's just another way of having a better experience. So like when you're on an iPhone and you're doing a FaceTime, you can only see what the person shows you. But in augmented reality and virtual reality, I can basically be there with you at that time in that physical presence in that physical space without my physical body being there from the comfort of my home. So that's the metaverse in a nutshell. And then I'm going to explain this article, and I'm going to talk about some of the different companies that are doing really big projects in the metaverse and how you can actually take advantage of this all, right? So everything you want to know about the future of talking about the future is going to be covered in this article. So CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg and Satya Nadella talk about it. The metaverse is the future of the internet, or it's a video game, or maybe it's a deeply uncomfortable, worse version of Zoom. It's going to be a much better version of Zoom, right? Just because Zoom, you only have that camera, and it's nice to see people, but imagine being able to physically be in the room with people. So Facebook is in the process of rebranding their business, and they changed their name to Meta. If you ever played the game Roblox is similar to like a metaverse where it's more friendly with kids, but kids are building in this metaverse. They're building games, they're building experiences. There's going to be concerts in the metaverse. Like anything that you can do in the physical world, you're going to be able to do in the metaverse. It's going to impact education. It's going to impact medicine. It's going to impact entertainment. It's going to impact every single one of those industries that rely on people being in the same room with each other. And the pandemic only proliferated how we're actually going to communicate with each other, and how this technology is just going to make us all more connected without necessarily being in the same physical room. So, and then it's going to add the NFT element where people are actually going to be able to buy and sell and trade digital items for real money. So just imagine like Grand Theft Auto being able to buy that building or being able to buy that car and then being able to sell it for real money. Like in Roblox right now, it's Robux. Robux have no value outside of the Roblox game. If you look at a Metaverse project called Sandbox, Sandbox has an in-game experiences. They have a token that is basically a digital cryptocurrency token that you can earn that token. Like there's play to earn games. There's so much going on. Play to earn, and then you can actually build and buy land in the Metaverse. And on Sandbox specifically, you'll find a bunch of companies that are buying land. They're building experiences that people are going to have with their digital avatars. Like Snoop Dogg has land in there. Atari has land in there. A lot of big gaming companies. Binance has land in there. And the goal is like if Snoop Dogg does a concert, he'll be able to do a concert in the Metaverse, and he'll be able to do a concert physically. So he'll be able to reach more people, and they don't even need to leave their house. So he can reach an international audience while he's doing a show in a specific city. So he can be doing a show in LA and invite people from all around the world to come to that concert with their avatar to physically feel like they're there with their digital selves. So that's the power of the Metaverse. Like you can face the same way you can Zoom somebody in another country. Imagine being able to be in a room with that person instead of being on Zoom to have that conversation. And you can actually kind of see their facial expressions, and you can see and feel more. We're all about feeling and seeing. So that's basically what the Metaverse is going to do. So what does the Metaverse mean? To help you get a sense how vague and complex the Metaverse means. So here's an exercise. Mentally replace the phrase Metaverse in a sentence with cyberspace. 90% of the time, the meaning won't substantially change just because the term doesn't really refer to anyone. So broadly speaking, the technology companies refer. The metaverse can include virtual reality characterized by persistent virtual worlds that continue to exist when you're not playing, as well as augmented reality that combines aspects of the digital and physical worlds. All right. So many companies that have hopped on board the metaverse bandwagon also envision some sort of new digital economy, which is what I'm talking about, where you can create, buy, and sell goods. And the more idealistic visions of the metaverse, it's Interpol allowing you to take virtual items like clothes or cars from one platform to another. So you're not going to be limited where all your Robux is limited just to Roblox. In Sand or in the Sandbox, you can move and you can actually sell your NFTs on OpenSea. So OpenSea is basically one of the largest NFT marketplaces. So imagine like that outfit that you bought in Roblox, or that vision or something that you created in Roblox, you being able to sell it outside of Roblox for real money. And it's going to be cryptocurrency that you can obviously convert into fiat money. And it's difficult to parse what this all means when you hear descriptions like those above. An understandable response: wait, doesn't that exist already? Like World of Warcraft, for example, is a persistent virtual world where players can buy and sell goods. Fortnite is another experience, virtual experiences. Like when they had Travis Travis Scott performing Fortnite, that was huge. Imagine having like a Travis Scott perform in the metaverse where you're not restricted to a specific game like Fortnite to be able to go watch and join that experience, and being able to actually buy that Travis Scott like shirt or whatever he was wearing when he was performing, and then being able to sell it on a platform like OpenSea. Right now, I believe Roblox, once you buy that skin, or I know for Fortnite, once you buy a skin, I don't think you can resell it. I'm not sure. But World of Warcraft, I'm not sure if there's skins. But Roblox, after you build something, I'm not sure that if you can resell it. And if you can resell it, you can probably only resell it within that space. But imagine being able to sell it internationally. So you can strap on an Oculus headset and be in your own personal virtual home, but you can actually be having an experience of a lifetime, right? So tech giants like Microsoft and Meta are working on building tech-related interacting with virtual worlds, but they're not the only ones. Many other large companies like NVIDIA, Unity, Roblox, and even Snap, as well as a variety of smaller companies and startups are building an infrastructure to create better virtual worlds that more closely mimic physical life, right? So, for example, Epic has acquired a number of companies that help create or distribute digital assets in part to bolster its powerful Unreal Engine 5 platform. And while many Unreal video game platforms, it's also being used in the film industry. It can be easier for anyone to create virtual experiences, right? So despite the idea, I'm not going to read this whole article, but these words can mean anything. Coca-Cola launched a flavor born in the metaverse, right? alongside a Fortnite tie in the mini game. There are no rules to the metaverse. That's the best thing about this. This is like so new, and like you can create like a special, like people are gonna need to eat in the metaverse. But how it's gonna work is you can actually sell them the item in the metaverse, and then you can deliver it to them in real life. So they can be playing the game, and then they can hear a knock on their door, and it can be the food that they ordered in the metaverse that's being delivered in real life. So like Domino's and all of these big companies, they're going to be able to say, hey, come buy Domino's in the metaverse, and then we're going to give you a digital pizza, and we're going to bring you the physical pizza, and you'll get a discount when you order it from the metaverse. Like that's what's going to, same way online ordering happened. It's like people don't need to physically go into a store, but in the metaverse, I can see the pizza. I can kind of see the steam versus me having to go on a website and look at a static picture. Imagine being able to like showcase your food in a different light in the digital space and then delivering it in the physical space. So people will pay with cryptocurrency in the digital and then they'll receive the physical item. Or in some situations, you can just give them the digital item and create something cool for the physical item. There's no rules to this. This is like why it's so interesting. And the metaverse until starts to stall, da 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 da. I'm not going to read all of this. So what do metaverse involve? Why does the metaverse involve holograms? So when the internet first arrived, it started with a series of technological innovations like the ability to let computers talk to each other over great distances or the ability to hyperlink from one page to another web page. The technical features were the building blocks that were then used to make the app-stop structures we know as the internet, websites, apps, social networks, and everything that relies on those core elements. And that's to say nothing of the convergence of interface innovations that are strictly da-da-da-da-da with the metaverse and some new buildings. Like, however, there are limitations that may be impossible to overcome. When tech companies showed fictionalized videos of the visions they require so like basically you're gonna need like an avatar. The same way if you're on Snapchat, there's an avatar on Snapchat, there's avatars on different platforms. So you're gonna need a digital version of yourself. How identical that digital version of the self is to you is going to be all up to you. There's going to be companies that are going to be creating avatars. There's going to be companies that are selling avatars. There's going to be like so much of a new space just around avatars, and then what you wear as your avatar is going to be huge too. So it's like designer brands are going to want to dress up people in their digital versions of clothes, and then digital clothes is actually easier to create in some senses than physical clothes. And it's I would imagine it's cheaper because you don't have the physical garments, you don't have all the physical things that the physical world comes with. Like you're not really going to be able to sew a digital shirt. A digital shirt is probably not going to get a hole in it. It's not going to rip. It's not going to have a lot of the things that physical items have. So it's going to be interesting to see how big brands take clothes, merchandise, sneakers, like glasses, earrings, jewelry, all of that is going to be in the metaverse. So big companies need to figure this out, and that's why it's like such an open opportunity, and it's all going to involve crypto because people are going to need crypto to buy the digital item. So companies are going to maybe even need to create their own digital tokens, or they're going to need to align with other digital tokens to figure out how they can leverage other digital tokens to basically allow people to purchase their digital products. And are they going to also send physical products with some of their digital products? It's just like all in the air right now, and that's basically like the direction that we're moving towards. So that's basically going to be the digital version, and that digital version is going to need clothes. So this is really interesting. If you want to finish reading this article, you can go ahead. What's the metaverse like right now? So it's going to take time to build this. This is probably going to take at least 3 to 5 years to really build this. Companies that have metaverse where you can buy land now and you can start playing for in-game experiences now. But I would say it's going to take at least 2 to 5 years. Let me not say 3, 2 to 5 years before it becomes mainstream, where big companies actually have like developed their land and developed their experiences within it. Like you might start seeing like headway in 6 months to a year, but it's really going to take 2 to 5 years to really build this technology just because it's still all new. Like the augmented reality, the virtual reality, how people are going to experience it. Right now, you may be able to go into the metaverse on your computer, but if you want to experience it more of like a physical way or, all that's being built. So I would say 2 to 5 years, but within the next 6 months to a year, you're going to start seeing more and more and more companies start entering the space. And they're going to start entering, looking to figure out how to understand it so they can start building. And that's why it's going to take them a minimum 6 months to a year to really understand it. And then I'd say within 2 years, we should start seeing projects being like unveiled in big companies. So It's going to take time to build this. Facebook is actually kind of pioneering the way. And if you want to read this article, what is the metaverse exactly, go to wired.com/story, what is the metaverse? And if you're still watching this video, like, subscribe to this channel. And then I'm going to put a link in the description to my book, What is Bitcoin? Understanding Bitcoin and Blockchain Technology. If you don't understand Bitcoin and blockchain technology, it's going to be really hard to understand the metaverse. And some of the stuff that I said may have been over your head, but educate yourself, because at the end of the day, this technology is here to stay. And the people that understand this information are going to be in positions of power to educate people that don't understand this information. So build your intellectual property. My name is Cliff Pierre. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out. Catch you on the next one.